Okay, good morning. Good morning, good morning. I'm out in the forest. Hello. I'm currently cutting trees. We're going to be working on this build a little bit today. I worked on it while I was drinking my first coffee this morning. And, yeah, it's just going to be a short stream today because I've only got a couple of hours before I need to head out. But I will be back on tonight. But I didn't want to make too much progress without getting it down. Also, I just noticed that these guys over here are level 1. And I wouldn't mind picking up a little bit of gold just while we're right here. So let's kite one of these guys. They're still gonna do a little bit of damage when they hit, but they go down pretty easy. So, you know, gold adds up. We'll just pop a quick heal. I wonder, yeah, if I had a bow, it'd be easier to do this, but I do not, so. I have a feeling I'm just gonna have to...
Hey.
Oh, didn't even alert the other guy. Alright, let's get that back.
Hey.
Oh, he was quick on it, though. Whoops, there we go. And we'll do a little spinny spin. And that's a little bit of gold done. There were 2 guys, maybe 3 in that tower. I don't know how they're... Oh, yeah, I think 2 guys. Again, we'll pop the healing ability. These guys go down a lot easier than my damage. They still do me a bunch of damage if they hit. But... No, not okay. There we go. And this guy's gonna want to... Oh, interesting. There we go. 5 gold from him. Which is good, because I spent most of my grace there yesterday. We're back to 350. I've already sacrificed 140 gold today. And I just want to keep sacrificing about at that level for the next few days. And keep it coming back up. Oh, I totally whiffed on that guy. There we go. Hey, look at that. Medium armor, head, torso, legs. All 19. Skill. We're closing in on 20. Come on down there, buddy. Come on down. Oh, I didn't get the block off. 4 gold. Couple guys up there. There's a tent over there as well. See if we can get out of here. Yes, you. Gonna jump attack. I'm gonna block. Oh, I missed the block that time, but that's fine. We'll just take it down. I do not need one niece. He gave me a bronze ingot though. That's loot, I guess. Why do I keep attacking from so far away? Yeah, you just do that. There we go. Digging the metal core today and enjoying... No? The power didn't stick with it? What the heck is going on? Sometimes it does that. It kind of sticks. Penny buns. You know how I like my penny buns. Roasted with butter. Well, actually fried with butter. Let's face it. Would be lovely right about now. With a little steak. Yeah. Bronze arrowheads. Let's just dump them on the ground. I don't need those. Should be one guy right in there. And we're good to take him. I can do a jump attack too, motherfucker. Look at that. Yeah. Another bronze ingot. Now we have 2 bronze ingots, so, you know, that's worth the stack, right? Now there's 3 guys down here in this tent, I imagine. I would like to pull one out. Oh, yep. Okay, there's one. Lovely. Lovely. Stop blocking. Why does it do that? Like, there's nothing wrong with my mouse. Alright, whatever. Bring them both out here. Oh, that guy's gonna... Shit, he put the protection spell on. Oh, well. So they're gonna well, the one of them will be a lot harder to kill. We get porcelain cloth. Oh, Jesus. What did I just do? I haven't even ate food. I'm whiffing on my keys. God, it's a good thing they're level 1s, or that probably would have done me in. Food, even though it's a little late for that. Anyways, that's that camp cleared. I should have paid attention to how much gold I had, but we have more now, so more is better. Number go up is good. And I'm just going to finish filling up on... Need those arrowheads. On as much wood as I can get, because I did not bring wood from the old place. So I know I'm going to need a lot of beams in my life, and there's someone else in the clan that needs beams as well, so anything I don't use can go to them. But, I mean, realistically, I'm going to need all the beams I can get for the next little while. Just try and keep this semi-organized. I'm going to say no to bee parts right now. I'll get more than enough of them in the future. Why did I do that? Thinking it would do something. It's early. It's early, okay? Gonna overhead chop the tree to death. Don't think it works that way. So I've been playing around with some ideas in the foundation of the building that I'm making. I think that's good. Yeah, we're gonna fill up the next time we chop a tree, so. Thankfully, our place is just over by that second little silo-looking tower over there. So we just run across the bridge here, and we're basically there. We got a double plot right on the water, which is kind of cool. If I didn't want to do exactly what I want to do, if I wasn't so rigid in my imaginings, I would use that waterfront to carry on like a pathway all the way around, but I don't think that's going to happen. We're just going to have the building on the water. Go around Dalcon's place. I believe that's his name. Pardon my voice. And this is the foundation I've laid out. So, I have solid foundations all the way around with some open space underneath. And I did it because I wanted a basement. I really wanted a basement. So, there's this lower entrance here into this space. And there's also a water entrance. And I'll be able to close them off with doors. They'll clip a little bit in this arch, but we don't currently have arched doors, so yeah, come into here, and that'll take you right up once we work on the staircase, which I started playing with an idea for the staircase before I started chopping wood. I didn't want to get too far ahead. Let's see here. So we get a box of heartwood. That's nice. Throw that in there. We have a few beams here. This other stuff can just kind of randomly get thrown in somewhere. Although if it's thematic, it'd be helpful. Sure, I threw some mule wood in there. The ghost hunt went really well yesterday. Later today, I'm going to have to build, I guess build a leather working station, and make another goat helm. And then maybe some more Yule things. I don't know. See what I can come up with. So I have these windows set in the arches under there. And I like them, but there's another option for this. Now, I had them set on beams, so they sat back kind of half a tick. But I can bring them forward and then put a trim piece, and it would cover all the lower windows, and you just have those two windows. I'm leaning towards that. I'm not going to mess with it right now. What I am going to mess with is, this is going to be where the central staircase is. And I don't think this building is going to be as tall as the other one, partly because I just don't think it's going to work out. Pardon me. One thing I wanted to do, actually, is before I set down too much by way of stability, I want to embed wood beams into these pillars. So building, and so this is, I believe, just, yeah, going off of there. We'll make sure the rotation's correct. So that's going to sit right inside there. And then if I do that, click that, maybe that one. That should have extended the wood beam into the ground. And then I hit F again, and it's now going up there. And we can test this when we go upstairs. I'm going to carry on with that philosophy, though. Let's just knock these down for a second. This floor is freestanding, I believe. So let's just test that assumption here. Like, yes, we have wood there, and yes, we have wood there. So we should be able to do exactly the same thing with these. Over top, flip it under, and it goes underneath. And then same deal here, but we'll start with the wood beams, and they're going to carry up a fair ways here. That looked orange to me, and orange is just fine. So these should be mutually supportive. Add a lime mortar and granite, right. I may end up using a lot more granite. I mean, I shouldn't, because my old place was one taller than this is going to be. And I had a full solid foundation, so I should have more than enough granite. Alright, so that does that. Just going to take those down. This is pretty, like, easy to repeat. The controls are not wishy-washy, I guess, in the sense that I can come in here with this beam as long as I'm looking at the bottom of that. Yep, that works, and then I hit F. So that should carry that beam all the way from down into the earth all the way up. So maximum stability. I'm kind of curious if I can get away with not having anything other than central posts, kind of like the cottage. Because there's no real center here. I was thinking of going with this, but let's experiment, because maybe I could do away with that. If I go in here with this beam and just stretch it between... Yeah, it does find a center point. Huh. Huh. Okay. So... there is a center point. Now, whether or not this is going to be too far, I think it probably will. We'll probably have to have posts somewhere in these corners. Now, unlike my other building, this does not perfectly mesh together. So where I place walls on the interior is going to be a thing. And how I make these blend together is going to be interesting as well. Or maybe we don't. I mean, I could go with wood floors, but I like the opaque quality of these ones. Plus, they give you that really bright ceiling, which should help reflect a little bit of light. All right. Anyways, there's the bottom of our post. So post all the way down. And then post go up. And granite go up. I don't know if adding limestone pillars in there, it might actually help. How do we science that? First of all, I need to know what a limestone pillar is going to cost us. Limestone and lime mortar. All right, so let's have a look at this, maybe from this side, because the sun is bright. And yeah, okay, so we could, the central pillar as it sits right now, we can get, oh gosh, I'm gonna run off the building here. I can't, this is a frustration. I need to make a checklist or a note of like all the things that bug me about build mode. 1, not being able to turn off the blue borders. 2, not being able to look higher. You know what I could do though is just take a couple of these out. Yeah, that'll cause a little bit of a cascade. But let's say that's as high as it'll go, right? Only we can scroll down and that becomes the highest point. All right, so we know these pillars are identical at this point. So if we do that, but we add limestone pillars inside, which is not a great use of resources, right? But whatever. So that limestone pillar now reaches into the ground, just right next to there. So I should be able to, if we get any extra stability, we get that much. I think that's identical. That looks identical to me. Okay, well, now we know. And this pillar is slated to come out anyway, so we're going to get those mats back. Whoops, shit, I took the floor out. Where were we? That one. One thing we could do is leave them in down here, just for shits and giggles. Maybe put them down one. So they're not poking through the floor. I don't know, I mean, they can be taken out. We'll say good morning to our clanmate there. Reminds me, I should announce on Discord. Yeah, I need to figure out how to do the automated announce thing. https://www.twitch.tv/StarterDs to make sure I don't collapse building on my head. OSHA insists. Winky face. Just because I like writing really absurd things. All right, Discord, minimize. All right, so that is a good start. I mean, we don't really need to put those pillars in quite yet. Yeah, so, all right, you know what? We're gonna, I don't know if there's anyone here hanging, but I kind of, what I'll do is, we'll call it a demo of what this will look like. I think it's there. Yeah, it'll be there. You can see. So you can see, just if I turn off build mode, the tiniest little bit of the lower window. Now, that kind of bothers me a little bit. It's not a big deal. You know, you wouldn't really notice it maybe at a glance. But I feel like there are ways to mitigate that, and that way is to add a trim detail that would go around the base of the building. Does that actually mitigate the problem? Or does it need to come up a little bit more? I mean, that chops off the window. I think that's more noticeable as clipping. But maybe it's not. I don't know. What does this look like from the inside also? I would need trim on the inside to make that look not like doo-doo. Only this piece doesn't let us... Oh, really? That's annoying. Okay, so I'd have to... That's slightly annoying. You can't reach the corners in these. What is this? Why is that sticking through? Oh, everything's gone wrong. I would have to... And that's sticking out there. I'd have to do something here. Now, I'm just experimenting for a second here. Because I want to know where the nodes are on this thing. They're in almost the exact same spot. Okay, so that's not super helpful. But that might be in a different spot. And is it enough to... No, it makes no difference. It'll basically be the same spot. Only it's not. Can I... Okay. Take that away. Put that in. Take you out. Take you out. No, this is not... This is not really what I was envisioning. Forget that. Didn't really want to kill that whole foundation, but... No big deal. So this is where the experimentation comes in. This implementation of it is cleaner, other than the fact that we've got the rest of the windows showing. So I guess another option is to, over top of it, hide it. Don't love that idea. I don't know. This may not be solvable in this very moment. Shit. Okay. The way I laid those walls in there in the first place was with a beam, and then you grab a window and you get it just next to it. Put that there, take that out. Put those back in. All right. That's a concept I'm going to think about a little bit more. It could be possible to hide it with beamwork, but I'm not very skilled in moving the nodes. This thing over here is meant to show, I think, how to be able to move nodes. Yeah, so you can see you can basically put a node right next to each. This is a 53, whatever it is. I think 53 or 56. 56 degree beam. And you would grab one of these, go to that node, and translate it down. And then the next node up? No, the next node down over here? No, how? Oh, that's the regular node. So how do you get one over here? I guess you have to extend it out, put a 56 degree up, and translate it down. Okay. All right. I wonder if I can kind of build a grating in there. Let's experiment with that now. Maybe we'll take these two out. We're going to grab that 56 degree beam, face it that way. And let's go with a decorative timber. And that could be a way of hiding that part of the window. Then we come back in with these guys. And that actually works. We could go a step further. Probably. Maybe. I'm just gonna snap them from here. Just I would hide the seams. That just covers the beam. So I guess we would have our choice of trim in a way. What about if we translate that down one? It does nothing. Snapping it to the beam. Translating it down is better. Okay, take these out again. We can also take that beam out. We carry them along there. Call this a tech demo, if you will. I'm just kind of experimenting and trying to find out exactly how the building is gonna look, you know what I mean? Before I go through the process of trying to build the whole building. I think that's way cleaner. That's actually nice. Not just like, okay, I think that's nice. On the inside, however, we have problems. And it is either hideable by wall, just to have a look at it, that would show through, so that's a no. My mouse was outside the window for a second. Okay, we're going to take those down. We're going to put one of those in there and try and find a node point in this that we can then use to hide the inside. And then we grab something. What are we going to grab? Either a wall and just sink it in there so it looks like the foundation comes up to that. That's clean. That's real clean. Right? And you can't tell that's not meant to be like that. You know what I mean? Like that's moving parts around and clipping them. Just compare the left and the right. Left looks incomplete and weird. Right looks finished. The only question I have is if I don't put in these floors everywhere, how do I cover those up? Like, I think if I put a wall here, that's still going to show through. Right? So I think the answer is put those floors in, but this is where I differ from some of my last build, is that the floor does not all stick together perfectly. It does in this room, but only up to where the two shapes join. Right, so that would cover it. That's extremely expensive on limestone, which is why I haven't done those borders. And this is all because I want those arches in this foundation, right? Same thing kind of over here, a couple of those windows. And then over here would be the same for this area. I also tried to hide a seam here. I think I could do better with some beams there as well. Or moving nodes around. The one question I kind of have about this is it going to be enough space for my smelters. I think I get 2 smelters, one on either side of this pillar, and a walkway in between. But it may be I don't even need smelters in my building. I don't know. Let's see. The floor shapes here are what trouble me most. I'm going to show you a tool that I use. Turns on webcam. No, not that kind of tool. It is a shape tool for learning math and stuff, geometry, I guess. apps.mathlearningcenter.org/pattern-shapes. And that code is whatever I last saved. So this allows me to set this up and then work out how the floors are going to work. But because of this, I haven't really figured out how to make these work. It's just a little off here in terms of the distance between those, but the borders of the tiles would work. So I've just filled these kind of arrow-shaped sections with stuff. And I don't like that so much because if I want these floors to mesh up perfectly, then I have to figure it out. I should have probably spent some more time on this because there's got to be a solution. Maybe not. I don't know. Trying to play with it in my head, you know what I mean? One option would be to narrow down the building very slightly and just have triangles carry over all the way to the edge. And then have maybe a pointed end to this building, which is not the worst idea. Let's see if I can just do this real quick. If I delete those and I copy those, no, wrong button. It's a lot of triangles. Right, if I were to copy these in, then I could have this slightly... Actually, I kind of like that. Oh god, I'm going to change the whole building now. Oh, okay, here's the problem with this. Those windows I just made, they would disappear because I need square pieces around the edge. Is there a way I can hide them better? I mean, this is an option, but huh. Right, this gave me a lot of open space underneath either end to have that basement area. And I get to have my fancy window dressing. I get to have my swim up into the building option. Yeah, this is kind of why I came up with what I came up with. Let me see how these things look when they're clipping. So, if we've got a triangle there, we've got a square over top of it. Maybe this isn't even a problem, you know? You can't really notice it. Let's see how true that remains. If we get everything on top. Are they decorated or simple? If they're decorated, okay, yeah. Cool. Ah. All right, there we go. So that actually looks fine. I should have tested that out in the first place. But that's a big relief, actually. You'll never notice any weirdness out of that as far as I'm concerned. That is the wrong piece. Yes, yes, okay, okay. Ooh. Grab more limestone. I think I just do this floor up. Commit the resources now. Because it's a lot of limestone. I can't actually believe how much limestone they want you to put into this stuff. Like these floors, specifically. These pieces. Are kind of ridiculous. Like 90? And 45 clay? It's nutty. Very, very grateful for my clanmates for helping me bring all this stuff over, because boy, was that a bunch of trips. And they, you know, they brought stuff like clay that I mean, I put it in the bring thing, but I was like, you know what, don't bring it if you don't think it's worth bringing. They brought it. They brought it. I need to, what is under there? The triangle. I need to do that triangle. And that's a triangle. And then we got then we need more limestone. So this is all the storage that I set up over here, and we've just built it kind of willy-nilly. All right, so square there. That matches there, and then it's just following the shapes around here. Anyways, I guess my point was I'm gonna have to figure out some labeling scheme, but maybe we'll just build the storage room and then worry about it. More limestone. My God, this is crazy. I didn't have that many ceilings. I mean, because I had made ceilings out of this stuff, but we're gonna test how much limestone was brought for sure. Thankfully, there is a good source nearby of granite and limestone, So don't have to be too worried about it. Nothing a little harvesting can't solve. Limestone again. We have 7 pieces worth of clay. All right, that floor is nice. You don't notice any wonkiness over here, which I'm really relieved about. One thing I did notice is that this tree is going to poke through a little bit. Died twice on that tune. Crap. I'll just throw a little Mandalorian in there. One thing I should do is fix the foundation around here. So I realized granite and stone foundations, they have the same surface appearance. They, however, will poke through the texture on the other side. Now, I'm not sure if that's true of this location that I'm at specifically, because I do have thick pieces on the inside. But next to the arches, it would be a problem. But I'm not next to the arches, so save the granite. Use the stone. There was some stone around somewhere. There's a little. I'll take that clay out of there. More limestone though. Let's put the limestone all together again, because it'll help my brain just remember things where things are. Things remember where are things. God, so much more lime too. That's a great thing to have. I'm glad I made all that. All right, there. More than enough. So going in with stone foundations, I'm going to match the shape of the building with squares from the outside here. And then we just patch any holes. Although here we can get away with using thinner ones, because there's just a little gap to fill there. And we'll patch this up. What are these pieces? No, it's not that. It's this thing. Yeah, I think we're gonna probably probably end that feature there. That meets up nicely, continues that curve. All right, let me come back through here. Put that in. And this can be tidied up later. Is that granite? That's granite. Oh, you know why? Because it's against, right, because it's against the wall there. So it needs to be a granite foundation. This is what I was just saying. Otherwise, it'll poke through the other side. But is that true anymore? Can we save granite? Because I'm going to have that granite wall set back from there. So no, we can use stone. Forget all of what I was saying. Forget everything. You know nothing, Jon Snow. So the exception being right on this edge. Do I care about that edge? Not really. Not really. So this is, nope, it's not even showing it here because of that wall. Interesting. Oh yeah, because it's set back. Right. So it doesn't matter. I still like this better. This is still way better. Yeah, we're going to be just fine with that. I am happy so far with how this is going. Hope everyone's having a great day. If you're just lurking, I appreciate you for being here, hanging out. It's nice to stream for more than just me and my bot, you know? All right, so from here, I wanted to work on the spiral staircase because I had some ideas. Let's put these over here. Keep some beams on us, but I'm gonna need mortar and limestone because I was thinking of using mortar and limestone pieces for this staircase. And the way I was going to do it was with what piece? It was the overhang piece, this guy. And it's going to be back like that. Yeah, I don't want the arches facing me. Because the arches make it look weird. Whereas this isn't so bad. Now I have to test this with the downstairs as well. So that's kind of where it would start. On that level. On this level, it would start in the same place. But that poking through is a bit of an issue. So I don't know how this is going to work. Or if it's going to work. I only tested one floor of this, and it was not... Yeah, I would have to flip it 90 degrees. And that wouldn't work. Okay, these pieces don't work. They're too thick. Good to know. They look nice. Actually, I could do it on this floor. Hold on. I could do it on this floor. We could have a stone staircase up to the main floor. Because it only goes around 90 degrees. And then... yeah, that was, I think, too wide anyways. So we take out those floor pieces here. And we end up there. Now, that would probably be a little cleaner. We can embed a beam if we need a bit of a break in the texture. Now, the other thing to remember for myself is I want to be able to hang chests into part of this. So this is where the chests are going to be all the way around here. So maybe that doesn't work after all. What would work is 2 small ones. Whoops. So let's get the small ones. Come on now. I don't know if I like it when it's that much more narrow over my traditional beam staircase. Traditional. The one I've used before. Calling it traditional is maybe a bit much. Okay, and I've messed it up already. Did not notice that when I was building it. Why is this so weird sometimes? Operator error, probably. Okay, that's better. Alright, that does work. And I don't mind the crazy pattern it makes on the underside. I mean, it's smooth. It works. And because I think the backs of the chests would be pretty close. I kind of need to lay out chests. Which is going to require beams. And I don't know if I should use what I used before, which was sapwood beams. I think so. I mean, I can do what I usually do is I'll do one piece in one way and then another piece in another way. And then kind of compare the two and make up my mind that way. There we go. That's moved over. I'm like, where did I dump the wood I just chopped? Farther to the right, I guess. I haven't even made a crafting spot. Which drop that there. Start making wood beams. I'm really interested to see if I can support the building from the inside out. Because the outside walls aren't going to be that tall. I'm thinking 4 levels high, which is a lot. But if I stretch support beams out from the inside, maybe it'll be enough. Okay, I just need enough to get started laying this out. Because what I think I did when I started building this is I picked a point, I stretched a beam across. Yeah, I think just from that point. Well, it wasn't a long beam because I had something that stretched between the two. How? Oh dear. I think it's farther out than that though. Whatever the case was, there ended up being... That's right. There was a full beam length. Let me just plop one of those down so I can pick it up again. There was a full beam length of chests directly in front of the pillar. So, sorry, a 3 wide. I don't know if it was this far out or not. Let's just experiment with that. So that is directly in front. And then it was, yeah, because we had pillar, 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 pillar. And then I want to keep one back. Like one central area clean. Can I walk under that? I can. Is it a little hard on the head? Yeah. So that would be kind of our doorway in through the chests. That would go back like that. This would be across there. The chests would sit there. I think I'm too far out. I think I actually need to be back. Whatever, that'll fall. Back here. And the chests will stick just back over top of that. Am I going to be able to fit walls behind to stop the light is the question. Let's start laying this out, though. Oh. Thank you, phone, for reminding me. It is my nephew's birthday. Okay, the other thing, though, is... How does it link up with the other ones? Maybe it was even farther back. Because it worked perfectly. It did not... It was not messed up at all. Just checking to see how this looks. That does go back to a corner. I mean, that's the full tile, right? This is what I thought was too close. It would be a very claustrophobic staircase. But it might be just the way it works. No, it's not. It can't be. It can't be the way it works. Because there needs to be space back there for all the chests. So let's cut the tip off of these. The back corner of each, like yeah, so like kind of if this is the back corner of where the chest is, there was space for this chest over here to butt up against it. So that's kind of how that's got to be. I had 4 chests across though, didn't I? Did I? All right, screenshot time. I better have taken screenshots of this before I destroyed it. I think I did. Recordings and screenshots. Where are we at? I've taken a lot of screenshots of places. Did I take screenshots of the interior of my own? I'm pretty sure I did. There it is. Okay. I had 3 chests. And I had a full plus maybe a third, but maybe 2/3. This is before the ceiling was done. I didn't take screenshots of the place before I destroyed it. The interior. The kitchen was kind of the same, but it had 2 chests wide. Okay, so definitely a full to there, and then 2/3, I'm going to say. So I think we're on the right track. Because we've got a full and then 2/3. Oh, right. I did a different floor pattern. I had a square coming off of here. It should still work out. It's just I've got to be a little more, I don't know, creative with my angles. I think that fits, but let's... Yeah. Those blend together perfectly. However, there's not a piece that fits like that. I'm going back to my screenshot for a second. I think it's back a half or something. Because there would be a space in here that would... There would, in theory, be a space where there would be a perfect... Alright, I need some chests, actually, because chests are going to be the thing that really set this off. Don't need a ton of them. Just need to know how they made up. Because we might be forward too far here. Verticals as well. Put the verticals in. I don't need them there. Why did I put it there? Yeah, this is too much space. Right? Chest would be there. Chest would be there. There's miles of space between the backs of them. So let's just start moving it backwards. I think it crossed something like that. Maybe. Let's just try going back one node point. Put an upright on either side. Why I bother spinning them right now? Oh, yeah, because they don't fit properly if you don't spin them. And then put chest in tight against it. Likewise, same thing again. And then between those posts, I would have had a panel. It was this little panel, which does not fit properly. I actually think it's a half node back from there. So to get a half node back, we're going to come back to a 56 degree thingamajig. Pardon me. I managed to somehow almost inhale my toothpaste earlier, and it kind of irritated my nasal stuff. So if we go off of that, it's not quite right. Okay, the other thing that would maybe work, because I kind of messed the geometry on this. I would need I would need some of this. Here, let me just steal that for a second. Because the floors there were like that. They were based off of that. So if I just steal that to... Well, that's cool. Okay, sure. Whenever you're done. No, I need the other one, please. There we go. Got the node I wanted. If I do the same thing over here, and then put the upright in there, then can I snap that panel in now? Yeah, look how perfect that is. So that's exactly what it was. I just have to create those node points. And then, whoops, let it settle, take that out. Well, because I can then move that over like so. Put down the post I need. Same dealio over here. Did I use the wrong angle there? No? I'm confused. I confused myself. No, I think it's fine. I mean, I'm still confused, but that's just par for the course. Okay, so then again, find, please. There we go. I don't even know if this is going to work, man. It looks like it. It looks like the right spacing. It's going to be a little tight around the staircase. I wonder what it's going to be like to travel up through this staircase, actually. It's probably going to be claustrophobic as hell. It's fine. We'll... I mean, this is all the thing. If I don't like something, I can always rebuild it. And that just gives me something to do in the game. Love this song. So intense. No, not duplicate build. Get the other node. Get the other node. Get the... There we go. There we go. That's the one I wanted. And then we find a way to take that out. Settle down. There we go. That one went without much fuss. It's all orange out here. I'll have to put some supports around, I think. Underneath. Couple anyways. I've yet to decide on that, but let's just follow this idea through. Wrong one. Easily fixed. Get that in there. Get that in there. Oh, I'm trying to click it. Oh, I'm trying to click it. What just happened? Did they just go underneath? Come on. You are not needed. Oh, I don't like how they're showing through the floor. That's better. Oh, that's not better. Why did I do that? There we go. Okay, so in theory, this is the start of the chest wall. We get a piece going that way from each one, which link up with those other nodes. Okay, and then we would have these come across. And that would be the start of the chest wall. One thing I didn't think about here. Oh, wait, I'm just confused. Never mind. I totally thought about it. Yeah, this flat face here is going to be where the entry to the stairwell is. And I think that's how it would go. Let's just double check that. Here, let me take this one down. Hey, Sunda. Good morning. How you doing, dude? Just playing with some... Well, with my chest wall, with potentially an entrance. I think I'm going to have to... keep that clean. Or clear. Geez. I don't think these are even going to work unless I do something. Now I'm just mocking this in for finder beams. Yeah, I could do something like that. You just walk through this little narrow arch. Playing PAX vicariously through me between calls at work. Cool, man. Well, thanks for hanging. I appreciate that. I am not long for this world, though. The world of streaming. I have to go get some shots, and it's like an hour and a quarter drive-ish. Is that true? It's like an hour 10. Whatever. Close enough. So my alarm's going to go off in 15 minutes and tell me to get the heck on the road. Because I got to get fuel. I got to do all that stuff. Yeah. I considered canceling, but I've also, like, because it's up near where my parents live, it's like, see them, and then I've got a dog sitting job I'm going to do at the end of the month. So I'm going to need to stop by and say hello to the dogs so they remember who I am, so they don't eat my face off when I show up to look after them, you know, that kind of thing. So I got a full day ahead. But I'll be back on tonight and streaming then. I'm going to try and get as much done as I can here for the next 15 minutes. I have no idea how the stability of the rest of this building is going to go, actually, so maybe I shouldn't get too carried away, but I want to make sure that this concept works to some degree. I should find myself some limestone, because I'm going to want limestone walls on the interior to stop the light from going through the chests. Yeah, the whole interior decoration of this is going to be interesting, because I had the central pillar lit up, but I'm not going to have room for those lights, because I'm going to be walking around the central staircase. Really, this is just kind of an idea that I'm... Yeah, okay, there we go, we're done. An idea that I'm trying to work out. Yeah, maybe I should have taken from there. Keep things organized. I really like how these turned out, though. I been playing around with how this basement stuff would work. So I got some windows on the water side here, kind of set back into the arches, and I could put some flowers down there later. But it's really these ones making like cellar windows. I'm kind of proud of that, if you can see them. It's pretty proud of that. That one hasn't been covered over yet. But from out here, it looks clean. All right. Yeah. I mean, the other thing, too, is I could always pull these out a little bit more and then bodge something together for the corners. It'd make it kind of star-shaped. I think that would give more room on the interior for lighting. But let's have a look at how this would go with some chests in here. So there'd be chests there. Oh yeah, I have to do these as well on that. Because we need those across. This side I'm going to have to use short ones and kind of wall it in a way. So much beamwork. It's a narrow doorway, but I mean, it's a stairwell. It's not wheelchair accessible. You know what I mean? It'll be fine. So the other thing I wanted to experiment with here is walls, because I like to block out the light from passing by the chests. Now, can I... Ooh, I can. If I do it properly, and I don't let the chests get in the way... I can actually wall them in like that. And again, that would be like so. and I'd have a panel. Let me just see where I've got those. Here. I'm carrying too much wood. Okay. Let's grab those. So what I did is each one of these levels, there'd be 4 levels tall, because I had 4 chests tall, right up to almost the ceiling level. Well, not quite actually. There was a fair amount of space because I do my floors 2 walls high, my stories, if you will, 2 walls high. But there would be a little platform, kind of sunk back somehow. Anyways, I'm not going to do it now. A table lamp in there. And then a panel between these 2 and a light behind each one of these. So in the right lighting, the lighting coming out of the holes was like really cool. I liked that a lot. Gonna have to take out the walls until I've done placing all the things I need to place. It's very orange. I don't like that. And then placing chests up there is a bit of a pain in the ass, so I'm not going to bother right now. But these would actually carry on taller. And downstairs, this is going to be a little different from my first version of this because I didn't have a downstairs, so I could move stuff through there. However, I may make a cage around this. Because what I used to do is in the corners here, I used to put these details all the way around on the corners. If I do something like that, then downstairs it's going to be like a cage around it. I guess I'll do this one too. So I would just carry these down at that point even farther. That would actually impart some stability into everything upstairs as well. Because we're now connecting it to the lower foundation and things become greener. Yeah, things are greener. Yeah, space for chests in there. It would be nice and clean on the inside. This wall, going the wrong direction in the scroll wheel here. There we go. Would snap off of there. Snap off of there. And then staircase would continue over here. And I would usually use wyvern beams. Whoops. And these, I don't know, I've seen better staircases using floor panels and stuff. That might be an option. It certainly is less pieces to place. Okay, what am I doing? I really enjoy the building in this game. So that gets us up one wall, and we go around again to go up to the second one. And the one thing about this is, as well, is if you come up from above, you can use a corner as an elevator down. A de-escalator, maybe. A de-escalator. I'm not sure how big this building was going to be. I was thinking 4 walls tall. And that allows me to have a balcony around there. Maybe not even a balcony, actually. I think it would be a solid floor above. But there'd be a balcony around this one, because I was thinking of fitting 2 forges into here. Facing this direction against that pillar, each one of them. I don't know if I have the space for that, because I built this end a little differently. And I don't know, it's really down to how the plots are placed. I'm already about as close as I probably want to be to his place. I'd have to bring out the foundation side to side one, which I have space for, but I don't really have that designed. And again, I'm kind of trapped in my symmetrical thinking. What did I do with that?
Show me potato salad.
Somehow I was muted for, I don't know how long, hopefully not that long. If I missed it, Major Pred, thank you for the follow. I was saying my alarm's about to go off, and I'm going to have to call it for a little while. A few hours. I'll be back on tonight. Hopefully get a chance to stream. I've kind of decided if I'm going to do major work to the building, I am going to stream it. Oh, I didn't answer about combat. I didn't even see it. Sorry, I'm not... I was kind of in focus mode. That's my bad. Combat is okay. It's... you have a series of moves, basically. So if I pull out my weapon here, you've got your regular swing, and then you've got some Q, R, and F moves, which use something called Spirit. But they're pretty cool. I can show you really briefly on some NPCs. Let's just take a quick run here. Yeah, no problem. I don't mind at all. We'll go pick on some boars, or we'll go find some NPCs. There is PvP in this game. It takes place in a server that you can reach from just about anywhere. Each major server, like I'm on US East, it has a valley called Lioness, and that is where all the PvP takes place. And did I even set? Oh no, I've got like 15 minutes actually. That's right. I got till 12:45. Oh, there's no boars here right now. They've been cleaned out. We'll go farther. Are these camps cleaned out too? Gosh darn it. Just when you want to show someone combat, right? Everything's been hunted out. I don't see any NPCs. Huh. Can we get up there? Maybe into the woods? This place is usually full of boar. Okay, so here's boar. It's an aggressive animal. So this is combat. So I can use a special move and it does a lot more damage and usually applies a debuff, that kind of thing. I can then skin the animals. This spin move, because it's a low level animal, it just kills it, right? I was hoping to show you on the NPCs because they're tougher. But combat is good. It's a little repetitive. It's not super... I don't know. It's more akin, I would say, to... it's not quite a World of Warcraft type of thing, but it's whatever they call that kind of combat. That's just a deer. Deer will run away if you don't approach them from the rear. We usually hunt them with bows. Yeah, so there are some magic abilities. So I have an ability here that refreshes health and spirit. But it all comes from gear, basically. So let me show you my gear here. So, for instance, this goat helmet, Yule Goat Mask, it's part of the Yule event that is ending tomorrow. It has the ability Breath of Spirit on the right over there. It'll show up there. And it replenishes 64 spirits. I've got these pants. It's net fall. Throw a net forward that roots the first enemy hit for 10 seconds. That just is an immobilizer type of thing. And then the boots are the Breath of Joy, which increases movement speed by 20% for 8 seconds. Extremely useful for traveling and for getting out of dodge quickly. Sprinting does not consume stamina during the effect. So that's kind of how it goes. And then the higher level stuff, the effects are better. Other than that, yeah, you've got your weapon, special attacks. And there are potions. Potions don't last very long. I don't know. They can get you out of a pickle or a tight spot. But they're not something I rely on a whole lot. Spirit potions are common, because spirit can be hard to regain if you don't have the abilities I have. But no, like, fireball type. Well, actually, staffs. Staffs do a projectile attack that is kind of like a fireball, the cleric staff. That's their default attack, I believe. I'm not a healer, so I don't know, but it's usually healers that use those. They're super good attacks against ghosts. Because there's ghosty enemies. There's these, like, cultist type of guys called Zebians. And then that camp I just came from is usually filled with Inquisitors. And each one of those can drop, for instance, Inquisitors drop these medallion type things. What are they called? Anyways, but those things and you can get special ones from like boss characters that go towards making special high-powered gear. So they're used in the crafting recipe. Lockets, I think, or lockets or what? It definitely is a slower curve if you're playing solo. You can totally play solo, but you'll find like taking on harder camps and stuff. There's points of interest all around the map. So up here, these are ghost camps. These are little ones. These ones are sites that are meant for groups. If you went up there alone, you would probably die a lot. But these ones, for instance, if you pull one mob at a time, you can kill them, but it takes some concentration, but it is possible. And then these little tents here, those are little sites that usually you can solo, like I did earlier at the start of the stream. Yeah, so it's definitely a game that is meant to be played with a group if you can do it, and there's tons of clans. There's tons of good people playing. I just joined into this clan because it's more active than my old one, and they've got, you know, major building projects going on, such as what I've been doing here. And yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, keep watching streams. And, you know, if you're interested more in the combat, there are other streamers who run dungeons pretty regularly. Let me see. Let me see who's actually streaming Pax Day at the moment. And there might be some people doing PvP too. Lioness content only. Lord X Hell is in the PvP zone, I guess. Maybe. Maybe he is. His screenshot looks interesting. What has he got? Oh, it's an ultra wide, and I don't know what he's doing. That doesn't look like Pax though. Weird. Anyways, I haven't played Throne of Liberty myself, so I couldn't tell you how similar or dissimilar they are. But I personally love this game. The building and the gathering loops keep me pretty busy. I mean, building, you can keep riffing on your building techniques and decorating for a long time, but eventually it becomes you know, you craft a lot of stuff, and eventually you find, at least I did, that I want to do more combat. I want to group up with people and go do dungeons, which are a good way to... The bar's gonna be set high by your neighbors? We'll see. Oh, you played Dune a lot. Yeah, a lot of the people, I think, in this clan played Dune as well. So if you like Dune, you'll probably like this game. I never did play Dune, so I couldn't speak to it. But there, yeah. I think other people would say that, yeah, you guys played Dune heavily, right? Yeah. But it seems like in most cases I've seen, people kind of moved away from Dune back to this game, but it could have just been the release schedule as well. Yeah, so PAX is in 1.0, and then I found that when people, when 1.0 came out, people started coming back to PAX. Definitely be going back for Chapter 3. That'll be interesting. I'll see whether or not I pick up the game at that time, I think, but I wasn't really interested at first. I mean, Dune's cool, but I was just kind of like, meh. Stick with what I'm sticking with. How is this feeling? Going up here into this space. This won't be too bad. I think this is an okay proof of concept that I just have to build out. But when I come back later tonight, I think we're going to work on the walls and the shape of the building a little bit more. Yeah, I would say it's worth the money, and stick around, look through different streams as well. There's other people that are in the creator program that give giveaways for keys for PAX Day. But I would say it's worth the $30 or whatever it happens to be. I couldn't say. What is PAX worth these days? I bought it. I invested in all the early content packs. Whatever they were, the founders packs, and I don't regret it. Yeah, lots. It's very popular in Europe, I believe. It looks like $40 Canadian. It's probably $30 American, I would say. I'm not sure what that would be in euro. Probably similar to the American price. But yeah. I'll take you for a little spin through town here, which is I enjoy because I like the building themes that have been worked out here. Like even these gates themselves are just stunning. I think they're super awesome. That beamwork up on those towers, the hanging the lamps from these. I guess are they griffins as well? They are probably eagles or griffins, whatever they are. 25 pounds in the UK. Yeah, that's not bad, right? That's not too bad. So one thing about building in this game is trees do not disappear when you put down your plot over top. You can see all these borders that just popped up when I pulled out my hammer. These are all plots that the guild has placed to claim this land. But trees will grow back if you chop them down. So they've just taken the trees and they've made them features, right? And I imagine this is all going to get decorated in time. But you can make natural little gardens out of stuff. This is a neat thing. I don't know if there's more planned for this, but it looks neat. Oh yeah, it's like a pool in there. Nice. Have a little bath. Actually, yeah. Let's come in here and then sit. After a hard day of building, just soak for a moment. I don't even need my HUD right now. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to build in this game. I don't know the purpose of this building other than maybe it's just showing off some of the building pieces. I don't know. How to make columns. Or is it just a sculpture area? I don't know. But they've done a nice job of like putting the different crafting buildings, like making them into shops and things. Oh yeah, this is maybe a weaponsmith and a blacksmith. Oh, okay. Masonry building. That's cool. Yeah, I'm still getting to know my way around town here. This is really cool, actually. I really like this as an entrance to a building. It's very nice. Fletcher shop, probably. I guess I have to turn my HUD back on to be able to interact with anything. Right, so all made out to look all pretty, as well as have the clan storage for different stuff. Weaponsmith, fletching, and armorsmith. Nice. This big old building, I can't remember, was this where all the... Oh no, this is... Oh yeah. I think furnaces are all hiding back here. This, honestly, the vibe of this thing is like really industrial, and I like it. It's just you've walked into a smeltery, you know? It's pretty cool. I haven't actually wandered around here very much at all. Nice way of making stairs. That's cool. And then there's, oh my gosh, yeah. More smelters. F10, look at the roof. Okay. Whoop. Let's go up through the roof. That was really bright. Oh, yeah. This is the demon roof. And that all lights up. The eyes and the mouth, I believe, all light up at nighttime. That's so cool. But you can see the extent of this city. Kind of goes, that's the one gate out there. There's another gate bridge there. And then another bridge over there. So you got your housing area just outside the gates. And then the city proper. Super cool. Took you like 72 hours at least. At least, like, you put a lot of tile in that. You didn't need to do that. That is... Oh yeah, and vertical beams all in the end here. Look at each one of these ends. You can see the patterning on it. Is a vertical beam, which is hard to see down here. It's okay, that's just black. There, now we can see the vertical beams. It's just solid chunks of wood. That's so cool. Oh my god. I apologize for the brightness. What do you do though? Yeah, it's a cool place. I'm excited to see how it continues to be built and evolve. Super cool. That was so the tile would sit on top of it. Okay. Yep. Yeah, because that's that's not an insubstantial amount of stuff. I guess the whole building's made out of granite, so it's got lots of stability going up there. And then pillars underneath, yeah. Yeah, central pillars doing the work. I try and deal with as little stability as I can. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. Oh, that's cool. Little dock area. I don't think I'm going to be able to get away with just having 2 pillars like that. I'm going to have to add more stability coming up the walls, probably. We'll see. Even just up to that ground floor level, that first floor, I don't know what you want to call it. Considering like the underneath is a basement, and then this that we're looking at is ground floor. And then I haven't planned a whole lot else, but I want to do a dome. Oh, thank you so much, Major Pred. That's very kind.
Major Pred cheered X100.
I want to do a dome on this end of the building, the round end of the building, and then have a peaked roof coming off this side. You know, kind of like these roofs are just a single, you know, a slope, whatever you want to call that. I don't know what kind of roof you'd call that. But imagine this being this end of the building here. Thank you so much again, Major Pred. That is very kind. Yeah, I hope you do get the game. I do enjoy this quite a lot. Where am I? Oh my gosh. Just like lost my mind there. We're up here in this building. What is with the brightness right now? Oh yeah, let's do some parkour. Oh yeah. Oh, interesting. Now that one's still a work in progress. I don't think we're going to make it across there, but we're going to try. Oh, we did it. Up to that peak. Yeah. Good times. All right. We'll slide down a little bit and drop down. Thankfully, fall damage is not what it was in early access, so you can do stuff like that and not really worry too much. You can die from falling, but you gotta fall from pretty high. Especially if you're wearing gear that ups your hit points. Whoops. What is going on? Oh, my alarm's gonna go off in 2 minutes, so we're gonna bring it on back here, and then I'll send you off to some other PAX streamer. I will be back later this evening, if all goes well. Should be fine. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Let me see here. We've got well, I'm trying to find someone English speaking. How about Golnor? Let's see if I can get it right this time. Raid G0LNOR. We'll I'll just raid and run, and we'll call it a day. Well, we'll call it a for now. There we go. Raid has been created. Say hi. Give them a follow. I haven't watched them, so I actually don't know anything about that. But let's mute that ad that was going to come up, because ads suck. All right. Have a good afternoon. I'll see you guys later tonight. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.